So last week, we took a look at video game Easter eggs that referenced YouTubers. And it turns out there was a whole bunch of YouTuber referencing Easter eggs that I missed. Here are 11 more video game Easter eggs that reference YouTubers. Now, in the last YouTuber Easter eggs video, we covered the Doom Eternal Easter egg in Doom Eternal. It was at this point that a whole bunch of you suggested the Markiplier's dad Easter egg that could also be found in id Software's Eggcellent FPS. So, despite spending most of his time ripping and tearing, it turns out that Doom Guy enjoys a good book. One of his preferred reads is How to Comb Your Mustache by Clifton M. Fishbach. Now, whether this means that Doom Guy is sporting some new facial hair, I don't know. But I do know that this book is actually a reference to Markiplier's dad, who, by his own admission, had a killer mustache.
How to Comb Your Mustache, Clifton M. Fishbach. That's my dad's name. And my dad had a killer mustache. Here's a picture of my dad with a mustache.
Markiplier spoke to the Doom Eternal devs and said how important the Doom series was to him growing up. And in turn, they honoured his dad with this book, which is a really nice touch.
That's really nice. That's really nice. That is really sweet.
Now, one of my favourite type of YouTuber Easter eggs is when a YouTuber or streamer actually plays a game, says or does something funny, and then the developers acknowledge it in-game. A perfect example of this can be seen in Payday 2. On the Panic House map, you can find this.
We know that you're everybody look alive. The police saw this starting in about 30 seconds.
So this is a really, really big toothbrush. But there is a reason for its existence. You see, when Uberhacks Nova was playing Payday 2, they noticed that a toothbrush looked abnormally big, and invited their friends to take a look.
Holy shit, look at this big ass toothbrush. Seriously, someone's gotta see this. I've never seen a toothbrush this big in my life. Look at the toothpaste!
The Payday 2 devs saw this and showed him what an actual big toothbrush looked like. It's brilliant. Sticking with the theme of developers reacting to YouTube videos, up next is Hydroneer. Now, Hydroneer is a mini sandbox game where you mine for resources to build your own empire. A big fan of Hydroneer was Let's Game It Out, who used to exploit certain bugs in the game to become the one miner to rule them all. Well, it seems that the Hydroneer devs took note of Let's Game It Out's nefarious tactics and issued a bounty for his capture. Like I said, I love it when games acknowledge creators for the things that they have done when actually playing the game. Now, I've said before how the backgrounds of fighting games are usually meant to look pretty, and that's about it. Well, sometimes these backgrounds can be hiding some very subtle Easter eggs. The tournament stage in Mortal Kombat 11 is a great bit of fan service, featuring arcade cabinet versions of previous Mortal Kombat games. Now, you might think that the gameplay being shown on these screens is standard stock gameplay owned by NetherRealm. And that might be true, except one cabinet is different. The gameplay on the Mortal Kombat Deception cabinet isn't stock gameplay. It is instead gameplay from Mr. G-Star321's playthrough of Mortal Kombat Deception on the PS2, which he originally uploaded 9 years ago. The fact that a video from 9 years ago featured in a game released in 2019 is awesome. Now, popular video game YouTuber Civvy11 has appeared in a whole bunch of games, but I think my personal favourite Civvy cameo is his appearance in Postal 4. When exploring the Postal 4 world, you can find a store called Civvy Medical Emporium. And sure enough, if you head inside, you can find Civvy working behind the counter. Unfortunately, Civvy won't sign your petition, but if you unzip your pants, he will laugh at your piece. Well, he can laugh all he wants, as it really wouldn't be a postal Easter egg if we didn't pee on Civvy until he cried. Now, I almost feel kind of stupid for not including at least one of the many references to Achievement Hunter found in video games. Achievement Hunter was one of the first YouTube channels that I became obsessed with, and given how many times they've been referenced in games, it appears that I'm not alone. I mean, after saying all that, this next Easter egg doesn't actually reference Achievement Hunter. It references their parent company Rooster Teeth, but that's close enough. On the Crow's Nest mission in Halo 3, if you ignore the mission objective and run towards the door that I do, you can find someone having password problems.
Hey, open up!
Password, please!
You gotta be kidding me, what password?
The password so we don't open the door for fruits.
Do I sound like a brute to you?
Well, you could be held prisoner by brutes.
If I was held prisoner by brutes and knew the password, then the brutes could just force me to tell you the password and you'd open the door for them.
Okay, well now I'm definitely not gonna open the door.
But we need ammo!
Well, why don't you go ask your brute buddies then?
So if those voices sound familiar, that's because the Marine is voiced by Jason Saldana, who plays Tucker in the web series Red vs. Blue, and Matt Hullum, who voiced Doc in the same series. Now, what makes this Easter egg even cooler is that there is different dialogue for each difficulty. So on Heroic, the conversation will be voiced by Gus Arola and Jeff Ramsey.
Hey, open up!
Password.
What?
Need the password.
You gotta be kidding me. What password?
Password. They gave it out at the staff meeting 15 minutes ago.
Meeting? What meeting? I was out here.
Not supposed to let anyone in without it.
If the staff meeting just ended, no one outside is gonna know the freaking password. Now open up. We need ammo and the chief is out here.
Does he know the password?
He wasn't at the meeting either.
And on Legendary, the conversation is voiced by Bernie Burns and Joel Heyman.
Open up.
What's the password?
Password? Oh man, I forgot.
Forgot what?
I forgot the password.
See, that was almost right. See, the password begins with I forgot, but ends differently. Try again.
No, I mean, I forgot the password.
Okay, see, you got it wrong again. See, you said the same thing as last time.
I'm being serious. I don't know the password.
No. See, you changed the first part. See, that part was the right part. See, now you got the whole thing wrong.
No, I forgot what the password is, and I just need you to open the door.
All right, come on, man. Now you're just guessing.
It's a really cool Easter egg. Another channel that I used to binge watch all the time was Nerdcubed. His Nerdcubed Plays videos were hilarious, and made me buy a lot of games that I wouldn't have even known existed if it wasn't for those videos. One of Nerdcube's most popular videos is his Nerdcubed Plays Just Cause 3 video, where he played a pre-release version of the game. And given that this particular video got well over 3 million views, I'm sure it convinced at least some people to give it a try. Wanting to acknowledge Nerdcube's contribution to promoting the game, the Just Cause 3 devs added the logo of the Nerdcube channel for players to find. Now, in the last YouTuber Easter eggs video, we covered the appearance of Germa in atmospheric photo em-up interior worlds. Well, it turns out that Germa isn't the only YouTuber referenced in the game. On the mall level, if you entered this shop and head to the back, you can find a locked door. And if you entered this code, you can find this. So this is Vine Arcade, which is a reference to YouTuber and streamer vinesauce. Exploring the room further, we can find Norts, a reoccurring character from Vinny's videos, and whatever this is. I'm sure vinesauce fans will recognise it. You can also find vinesauce's mushroom mascot, which produces this cool trail effect when moved around. Now, all of this is obviously really cool, but there is still one more surprise. In the same room, you can find an arcade cabinet for a game called VineQuest. And sure enough, interacting with the cabinet unlocks VineQuest for you to play from the main menu. And to be honest, it's a pretty competent platformer. If you manage to collect all of the coins in this 5 or so minute experience, you'll be greeted with this screen, which explains that this secret Easter egg game was created in just 2 weeks. Now, some of the most entertaining videos I've watched on YouTube are the Outside Xbox Crew's playthroughs of Hitman. Each of the 3 hosts has a different way of doing things, which makes for some pretty funny moments. Well, on the Miami level in Hitman 2, if you head to the medical tent and pay attention to the whiteboard, you might notice some familiar names. First up is J. Doug, which is a reference to Outside Xbox host Jane Douglas. Apparently Jane is being treated for dehydration. Andy Farron is a nod to another Outside Xbox host, Andy Farron. Unfortunately, Andy could not be diagnosed. Finally, you can find M. Chanel, which is, you guessed it, a reference to another Outside Xbox host, Mike Chanel. Apparently, Mike is being treated for burns/explosive D. which might be a reference to the explosive ducks found in the game or a comment on Mike's bedroom prowess. Oh, and fun fact, Mike Chanel actually went to the same high school as me, though he was a couple of years above. Now, in the comments of the last YouTuber Easter eggs video, someone commented that they didn't recognise any YouTubers from the video, which, given that the video featured the likes of Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, came as a big surprise. Well, one creator that I'm guessing that most of you won't have heard of is this guy. So this room is a reference to Mr. MV, a French YouTuber who used to speedrun Super Meat Boy, hence this piece of art on the wall. When translating the writing on the wall into English, it reads "The Room of the Old Man," which is something that Mr. MV refers to himself as. Also, if you throw your drone down this hole, you can hear this. Now, my French is a little rusty, so if anyone can translate what was said, that would be awesome. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. If you are a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, and I will speak to you all soon.